What if I told you some of the most romantic streets in New York City are hidden in plain sight? From cobblestone streets to historic brownstones. They're all right here in the West Village. And if you step in, you'll probably never look at New York City the same ever again. Let's check it out. My name is Chris Jordan. I'm a luxury real estate agent here in New York City, and this is my neighborhood guide of the West Village. If you love nostalgia, you'll love the West Village, right? So the West Village don't only feel historic, but its history is preserved. So what that means, in 1969, there was actually a law passed that if you do want to build something in the West Village, one, you have to get a special permission, and two, the characteristics of the new development has to match the characteristics of the neighborhood. So the brownstones, the warehouses, they're all here, and they're all here to stay. So I always thought that was something very, very unique, because the West Village will always keep its nostalgic feel, its historic feel. Definitely a different feel than the rest of the city. And speaking of that, look at this. I actually found some permits with a building plan. Look. So this is a building plan of a new construction that's coming to the neighborhood. And look, they started, but you see how it matches the characteristics of the rest of the neighborhood. And to me, I don't know, maybe I'm an architect geek, but to me, that's like so awesome, because I see a lot of buildings, and a lot of times, a lot of new construction buildings just look out of place. And people start throwing around the word gentrification. And I think a lot of times that just means that the building looks out of place. It's a nice building and a place with historic buildings, but this look like it's been here, and it's going to look like it's been here. So that's awesome, and I think a lot of other neighborhoods, I know life is about evolution, but I think a lot of the other neighborhoods should consider that for sure. So it's pretty cool that I was able to find this here. But to get back on track, the West Village is more than just cobblestone streets, historic brownstones, and a nostalgic feel. It's also a safe haven for the LGBTQ community. In 1969, the Stonewall riots were started here, and that movement is still echoed throughout the community. I think they make a concerted effort to make sure that that movement is still alive even today. Now, if you've watched any of my previous episodes, a constant you'll see is that a lot of New York City neighborhoods were built on artists, right? And the West Village continues that trend. So, decades ago, jazz musicians and poets, they all came to the West Village, right? And the West Village continues that artistic theme to this day. You know, you can go to Arthur's Tavern for a jazz performance. You have the oldest, let's go this way. You have the oldest off-Broadway theater right here in the West Village. So whether you're an artist or somebody who enjoys that, the West Village has something for everybody. Now, when it comes to the West Village food culture, I think the West Village does a great job of mixing the old with the new. You know, whether you're a foodie or if you just want to try a new slice of pizza, the West Village has something for everybody. And it's actually, hold on. I actually got to watch my words, because I was just talking to somebody and they say I say every neighborhood might have my favorite food. But you guessed it. I think West Village is my favorite food neighborhood in New York City. And I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think as a neighborhood, they have the best pizza. That's just my opinion. I'm sure people would disagree with that, maybe. I don't know. I haven't vetted out this opinion, but that's my opinion. I'm sure you guys heard of the pizza shops in the West Village. You got Mama's too, L'Industrie, and you got John's at Bleecker Street. I think that's an elite three, I'll be honest. I think it will be, I don't know. I'm sure I gotta ask, that's a good question. I'm gonna get back to you on that one. Which neighborhood has the best pizza in New York City? That's a tough one. Now, when it comes to parks and green spaces in the West Village, you definitely have that. You have the Hudson River Park. You also, if you're into riding, you know, you can ride your bike on the West Side Highway. They that didn't sound right, like you're in traffic. They do have lanes where you can ride your bike on the West Side Highway. But, you know, I think the great thing about the West Village is, even though it can get busy on the main streets, if you do live here, there are hidden pockets within the neighborhood where you can get away and find some serenity and just get away from the vibrancy of the neighborhood. You know, I think West Village is one place in New York City where it is like a neighborhood. It's almost like, I think it's the closest you'll get to a European look. Just think about getting Europe right in Manhattan, and I think that's a great way to describe the West Village. Speaking about that privacy, you know it won't be a Chris Jordan neighborhood guide without tying real estate into it. Now, you know, if you've watched previous tours, I always try to say, right, don't hold me to these numbers. I don't really like to give numbers on these tours because they're so fluid in New York City. The funny part about the West Village is we kind of know what we're getting. The West Village is a place where the numbers stay as consistent as possible. So you're getting 2,000 a square foot to 2,500 a square foot. The median price about 1.8. It could go up depending on how big, you know, things of that nature. But, you know, the West Village is a place where things don't stay on the market very long. They get in, they get off. If you get a brownstone on the market in the West Village, it probably won't be on the market for a long time because of all the things we spoke about. I think people enjoy the family feel in a vibrant community, but you do have these hidden pockets and you have a very unique look, unique buildings. It just don't feel like Manhattan while being in Manhattan. So I think, I know that's something that people value and people look for. So because of that, it's high demand. And when you're buying in the West Village, because of the fact we spoke about how its landmarks are secure under law, I think people get that sense of security that they'll always have this look and won't have a high-rise building that looks out of place getting built next to their brownstone, and it won't change the unique look of their neighborhood. All right, now, to wrap it up, my name is Chris Jordan. I'm a luxury real estate agent here in New York City, and this is my neighborhood guide for the West Village. If you enjoyed this one, please go check out the other neighborhood guides. I also have a series where I put my top 5 favorite listings on the market right now. So go check that out, and I do believe we have a few West Village units on there. So let me know what you think about that. Like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you for spending the day with me. And it's summertime in New York City, and I'll continue to say, I don't think it's a better place in America this summertime in New York City. So if you're in New York, enjoy it. If not, get down here. Thank you. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Chris Jordan.
Fall in love with you every single day.